Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Luminous Body podcast, Healing from Within. And this episode is taking your power back, putting your health back in your hands. I'm your co-host, Dr. Hilary Conroy. I'm a chiropractor and kinesiologist, and I'm joined by my husband,
Dr. Jackson Waring. I'm also a chiro and kinesiologist.
And today we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest misconceptions to health and healing. And this is important because these misconceptions can be the biggest block to you feeling inspired and empowered when it comes to your health and healing.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These are big.
These are huge, yeah. I mean, we'll cover the in and outs of these misconceptions. And I think, as a society, we've been taught these misconceptions. We teach them, we learn them as young people, and then it's sort of reinforced by some of the systems that be. And these misconceptions are generally fear-based, and we're sort of taught through engaging with our health and the healthcare system that when there's symptoms or signs in the body, or when we have stress in our lives, that there's something has gone wrong. Something's broken down, something's not working properly. And more than not, I think, if we don't have education in this area, we think, oh, there's something wrong with me. I mean, some sort of personal failure that I've become sick, unwell, or injured, right?
Totally.
And these misconceptions are really important to address because it couldn't be more wrong, basically. Yeah. And also, I think it's really good to talk about these misconceptions because when we come from a fear-based place, it's really hard to heal.
It's like making an enemy out of yourself.
Totally, yeah. And I think we can all agree that we're really good at being hard on ourselves and pushing ourselves and telling ourselves all sorts of horrible things, and that gets us so far. We can probably do better.
Yeah, well, I think healing can be less scary. And we can feel a little bit more in the driver's seat if we shift our perspective away from my body has failed me towards actually everything that my body is displaying right now is actually just an adaptation.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it better. It's like if we just give ourselves another viewpoint, another lens to look through, even if we're still feeling the fear and feeling like something's wrong, we are able to hold different realities, right? If we kind of move away from some of the fear, it opens up a lot of other options, which is a lot of what we're talking about, right? Because I think when we look at it through the fear lens, we go, okay, there's something wrong, something bad's happened. Now I've got to fix it. I've got to chop it off, or I've got to block it out, or I've got to somehow address that symptom that's causing me so much distress. And when we go, okay, well, let's move outside the fear and think, okay, the body is extremely complex and different. And if this was happening for some reason, what systems broke down? What systems are under attack? I don't know.
Duress.
Yeah, that's right. And more like, why is the body adapted in this way? What is it in my environment? What is it in my body? What is it in my thoughts? What is it in my life that my system has felt that the best way forward is to create this in my system? And so then we not only can address symptoms and signs and stress, but we can also start to look at the underlying systems that broke down to get us into that place. And by doing that, it's definitely creates more whole body healing. We essentially can work with a system to improve its adaptability to get different and better outcomes.
Absolutely. That's right. And so without further ado,
here are the 5 most common misconceptions around healing.
Yeah. And the first one is that it's a one-size-fits-all scenario.
Yeah.
That, we're all the same. And if we have the same problem, the same treatment will fix it.
Yes.
And that's across the board. That's not, we're not just talking medical. We're talking healthcare.
Yeah.
Broad.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yep.
And, it's a hypothesis that serves well in clinical research and things like that. Nothing wrong with it. We've actually discovered so much with it, but everybody is so unique.
Yes.
Every system has developed in a different way. And it's done that by responding to different stimuli in its environment over the process of development. Years and years and years of that. And it's incredibly intelligent. And so with the tools that we've given it, our own individual tools, it's created those solutions. So the way that your system would fight inflammation would be very different to the way my system would do that. And similarly, the way that my system might balance blood sugar would be different to the person next to me as well.
Totally.
And that's really important because our systems have developed these protocols based off of our environment, how we've grown up, what we've grown up eating, what we've grown up drinking, who we've been around, the messages that we've got, the environments we've been in, the different toxins we've been surrounded by, the plants we've eaten, all that kind of stuff serves to create this like unique body evolution.
Very unique.
Yes.
And that's the point. Everybody is unique and treatments are not unique. You know, there are many, many treatment options out there, which is so incredible, but one treatment does not match one symptom.
Yes.
Because how you got that symptom in the first place is a very different path to how the person next to you got that symptom in the first place.
Yeah.
And this is what gets lost in the medical system is your journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole healthcare system's like that, right? We can lose people and the fact that they're unique. And I think also what's really important about understanding that people are unique is, and I think for you and me, we can both agree that no two treatments are ever the same.
No.
When you come from a whole body or a holistic perspective and you have a lot of different tools to address different aspects of human health, you might see someone with the same symptom, like someone comes in with a headache or something like that. But when you're able to understand or investigate what's underlying that, yeah, it's like there's so many different things that go into that.
Yeah. For example, we're chiropractors, and so often our modality of choice would be an adjustment or some kind of physical correction to the shoulders, the neck, and the cranials to ease a headache, for example. Now, if we were to treat every single headache that came through our door with a physical correction, maybe we'd help 20 to 30% of people, or we'd help people, but it wouldn't last.
Yeah.
And this is because headaches are so multifactorial that just by doing the physical component, we're missing 80% of everything else that could be going on.
That's right. That's right. So coming from a holistic lens, we need to evaluate the emotional and biochemical aspects of what could be causing a headache. Headaches can come from allergies to different foods or different environmental chemicals and things like that, you know, and it can come from emotional stress too. There's so many different factors in that. And I think and like I said, when we really see that the body is a unique space and a unique system and every single body is unique, then we can start to really open up the lens and see different parts that could be contributing to their symptoms or their stress.
Totally. You know? And so whilst your treatment might not look like your friend's treatment, that actually gives you access to so many other ways to help yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're different and your body got there through lots of different avenues, there's also many different ways you can heal.
Totally. And I think the fact that there are so many different healing methods and different practitioners in the world is a testament to the fact that we are so unique and multifactorial.
Yes.
And I totally reject any commentary about, this treating method is better than this treating method.
Me too.
This practitioner type is much better than this practitioner type. Like, we actually are all involved in the same soup of like human difference.
Yes.
And I think the future of healthcare, even if we just adopt that one lens, would be much more collaborative and integrative.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Now, number
that's
two.
one wrapped up.
Oh,
yeah.
number one is one and done.
One and done.
Okay, we're done. No, kidding. All right. Number two.
Yeah.
Look, this one's really important because we're all at some stage throughout our life, we've all done this. And that is, we've thought, the doctor knows me better than I do.
Yeah. We are so taught to put our health in other people's hands.
Yes.
Absolutely. If there's something going on with me, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me find someone who does. And you kind of almost hand it over.
You do hand it over. Yeah. It's the disconnection between how we feel about what's going on and what someone who we perceive to be more educated than us, or someone who perhaps is more educated than us in that field, we really place their opinion and their professional advice above what's going on for us.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And this can lead us astray. because the body is already speaking to you with symptoms, or it's already talking to you about something. And then we're going to go, well, I'm not listening. Let's get that person to listen. And then it has to come from their frame of lens of perception.
Totally.
And so it's not necessarily something that shouldn't happen, but it is if we engage with the system from more of a, this is something going on for me and I know myself really well and I'm in my human experience around it, then we're more likely to know whether something's working or not, if we're getting the right treatment.
Yes.
And also that particular treatment worked a bit on this bit, but I'm still experiencing this. So this might need something else. You know, you can kind of start to kind of
it's
engage.
really important to stay engaged with your process, not to give away your process, hoping that someone else might be able to solve it for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? Lots of different health professionals can help in lots of different ways, but you're the one in your body. And so if you aren't feeling good, you're probably not doing too great.
Yeah.
Even if your test says you are.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, we see a practitioner and have fatigue, for example, and then, you know, you get a blood test and the blood test is perfectly normal with normal ranges. And it's like, oh no, everything checks out fine. You're good. And it's like, I guess then we're like led to go, well, maybe I'm not fatigued. Maybe I made it up, or maybe it's all in my head, or maybe.
Yeah. I don't know my body.
Yes. Exactly.
They know me better and they're saying there's nothing wrong. So this must be just how people feel.
Yeah. Must be, because I'm getting old, or because I am staying up too late. I don't know.
Any
you can
number
find
of
any
things.
excuse to just try and block it out.
But the problem is, if you are removed from your own knowing and you are not listening to your body, we're hitting problems.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so the misconception there is that you don't know your body, but actually you know your body better than anyone else could.
And that's important.
Yes, that's important. And your experience matters. It's real information.
Now look.
Yeah.
This next one's one of my favorites.
Oh, is it? Okay. So, well, the misconception is that healing is linear, right? You have a problem, you figure it out, you take the medicine, you fix it up, and you get better, and that's it.
Straight line, A to B.
And in an upward direction.
Yeah.
It gets better and better.
Perfect trajectory.
Just keep slapping on the Band-Aids.
That's right.
And keep moving forward.
And look, I understand the appeal to that. I think we've all been in a place where we've felt so desperate to get better that we want healing to just go in that direction.
Yep.
And
totally.
Any deviation from this straight line forward momentum is actually heartbreaking and can trigger despair and can make you feel like you're not on the right path and you're not getting the care you need, and we can spiral into this negative space.
Yeah.
When in reality, healing very, very rarely goes in a straight upward direction from A to B.
Yeah, so healing is not linear.
It is not. It isn't. And it isn't for some really good reasons.
Totally. I think it's essential that healing is not linear, mostly because, you know, and as we go along in our podcast, it'll become really clear that when the body is talking with symptoms, we need to listen and we need to understand the full story.
The full story.
That's right. And so it's not just like, oh, I've got pain, I better fix that so I don't feel pain anymore. It's like I said before, it's like there's a whole system that's gone into creating that pain. And that system is also screaming for help. And it's like, so it's like the deeper you go, or the more backwards you go, or the more sideways you go on your healing journey, you're actually learning so much about how to look after yourself, how your body works, how it responds to certain stimuli, how to also be there with it. I think we're so conditioned to be so scared of discomfort that we panic and react to the symptom and try to fix it really quickly. Whereas I think a lot of Eastern healthcare practices and also definitely ancient healthcare practices would be like, there is a whole message behind that for you.
And I think even beyond that, when your body breaks down, you break down multiple layers.
Yeah.
And you go through a lot of different things to get to the state that you're in. And healing is about repairing each layer.
Yes.
And one aspect could be healing the emotional component to the illness or the disease or the stressor.
Yep.
And another aspect could be repairing tissues. And these things don't heal at the same time.
Yes, so true.
And they don't just get better and then they're fine. Sometimes they'll get better and then something will happen and you'll have more to work through.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, at no point does it mean you're not going in the right direction.
Yeah. It's like we're building resilience in the system.
Yes.
By approaching the setbacks in the right way. And it can be as easy an example as like a knee injury. The actual tissues are damaged. They need to be repaired. You need the physio, the chiro, whatever for it. And then we need to create a new relationship with a new knee because It's been broken and repaired, let's say, or it's gone, it's needed an upgrade.
Well, and the brain, when you do big changes like that, the brain doesn't recognize it.
No. So we need to create new movement patterns to integrate this new knee into the body, and so that we don't re-injure it in the future, or that, it's assimilated with the rest of the system. It can be just as powerful or more powerful than it was before. And it can be as simple as an example as that on your healing journey with whatever's going on, you're going to face setbacks, or you're going to go sideways a bit, or you're going to spiral down a bit. And it's more the way that we approach that, which is why breaking down fear is so important, because if we approach it from a fear-based point of view, we go, oh no, I messed up, I failed, I shouldn't have gone for that run. And then we become more frozen. Well, I won't do as much activity because it's going to hurt my knee. And it's like, actually, you might have just overstretched it a bit on that run. So learn from it, and you keep hitting this wall of resistance until it starts to move and your window of tolerance widens.
Exactly.
And that's real. That's healing. You've got a whole system that can handle this whole process.
Yes.
And become stronger in a way. Yeah.
That's just so cool.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I will never not be inspired by what the body teaches us through healing.
Agreed. Yeah.
Amazing.
It is magic.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't put that down as a misconception, but magic is real and magic is healing. But yeah, that's for a more fruity episode down the line.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so let's move on to number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4 is the body doesn't know how to heal, which is a major misconception. And I would say a pretty dangerous one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Assuming that the system has zero intelligence in how to get better leaves us extremely vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. And honestly disheartened.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you feel like your body actually doesn't remember or doesn't know how to heal, you're left with very little hope.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually what we see the most of in clinic.
Yeah, I would say that this is one of the primary messages that we give early on in someone's journey.
Yes. People come to us saying, I've done everything. I've tried everything.
Yes, I've been everywhere. I've had all the things and nothing's worked.
Yeah. And it's a very intense sense of hopelessness.
Yeah. It's desperation.
Yeah. And I think that really stems from not understanding that your body is more capable of healing than you know.
Yeah. And I go even harder and say that the body is infinitely more powerful than anything that could accost it or break it down. It's so powerful in the way that it can problem solve and create new molecules and create new compounds to fight disease, or create reframes or new perspectives for you to see things through, to create more forgiveness and acceptance and
goes on.
mental. I mean, it just keeps going, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
And we've just lost touch when it comes to that.
We just forgot.
We forgot. We kind of started to believe that we could see someone, and that when we take something, it's the thing that we take that fixes the body.
Yeah, whole magic bullet theory, right?
Yeah. Yes, magic bullet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this thing and it's going to be the thing that fixes me, not that thing enhances my body's own ability to heal, which is what everything is.
Mostly does, right?
Your body has infinite wisdom. And it's so complex that we actually don't even understand how it works.
It's the great mystery.
The placebo effect, the great mystery. When we seek help, when we take something, a supplement, a medication, what we are really doing is enhancing our body's ability to look after itself.
Yeah. Giving it more tools.
More tools.
Yeah, so that it can come up with the problem-solving cues, whatever it needs to, and apply that. That's right. I am always inspired by the statement that the body is designed to heal.
Me too.
Especially, and I'm not going to get too personal, but over my healing journey, that has been an essential piece that has got me through some really wild days and nights.
Yes.
You know, like going through a healthcare journey that has so many unique aspects that no one really knows anything about, especially in the medical system.
Yeah.
As I've had to interact with the medical system through my gender transition.
Yeah.
There's days where things are going on in my system that don't make any sense. And so when I've landed in, okay, this doesn't make sense, I'm very anxious and scared about it because I'm conditioned to be, but my body's designed to heal. So my body is probably doing this for some reason. And if that's the case, then I'm just going to be with it the best I can, give it the tools that I think it needs, and give it some time and space to come up with that. And almost always it's ended up in a really amazing space. You know?
Absolutely.
In a place that has moved me forward in my journey.
Yeah. The body is on your side.
It is. It's trying everything it can to make things work.
On this note, like one of the primary stories I tell people is if you take healing back to like really easy to understand examples, when you cut yourself, right, there's a break in the skin and you've got some blood and whatever, you do not have to consciously stare at that cut, willing it to knead together. You don't have to ask your body to, I mean, granted, you're somewhat in health to, stop that blood flow.
Yeah.
It will knit itself back together, create a little scar, and then in no time heal in such a way that you probably don't remember that you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an example of the body healing.
Yeah. It's like whether you're tuned into it or not, it's happening.
Yeah. It's always trying to do that.
Yes, exactly.
And it will do its best with what it has.
Yeah, it's not out to get you. It's on your side.
It's on your side.
Just trying to
That's really important.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. All right.
And look, this last one.
Yes.
Number 5.
Tell us all about it.
It's not so much a misconception, but it's so grossly overlooked.
And in that way, so intensely essential.
It's essential. It is essential. And that is that your nervous system is actually the key to being able to unlock your health.
100%.
And the nervous system is a really big topic, but essentially it's the power board of the body. And it's the part of the body that is entirely geared towards keeping us alive.
Yeah.
And if you can work with your nervous system, work within what the body feels safe doing, it will keep your body in such a state that healing is much more likely to occur.
That's right. It's quite difficult to heal wholly when you're in survival mode, when your stress hormones are through the roof, like even physiologically. When the stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol are high, we naturally see a decrease in white blood cells.
Totally.
Your immune cells that are designed to fight disease.
Yeah.
So like hacking the nervous system, let's say, or sort of understanding your stress and ways to create safety and connectivity in your body, that is so conducive to healing. And the reason I love this point so much is because it directly remedies the fear-based information that we're fed all the time.
Absolutely.
It says you can eat as much fear-based misconceptions as you want, but if you are creating safety and connectivity in your nervous system, you will heal.
It's just so cool.
Yeah.
You will. And when we're talking about safety, we don't just mean don't stand on a busy road. Yeah. We mean if your body feels like you're in a position where it can let its guard down for long enough to shift out of survival mode and into rest and digest, that healing mode, you will heal.
That's right.
And it's about how your body can utilize these different parts of its nervous system to your advantage.
That's right.
And in actual fact, this doesn't just happen separate to you, the conscious person. You can
influence it, right?
Absolutely. You can influence that part of your body and learn to work with it and strengthen your ability to feel calm and restful.
Yeah, I guess it really links back to what you were saying before about being in tune with yourself, being in tune with your body. Understanding your nervous system is one of the most effective ways to do that.
So cool.
Yeah,
but
love it.
Look, episodes coming up on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So much more to come.
So much more.
So thanks everyone for listening. And in this episode, we've discussed some of the 5 major misconceptions that you might find along your healing journey.
Yeah.
Broken down some of the fear-based perceptions. So thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. And next episode, we're going to be talking about health. And you know what? What is the definition of health?
That's right.
Because I reckon we're all a little confused.
Yeah, let's explore that. Let's get a really good ground.
Let's get into it. Thanks, guys. That's all for today. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, and our podcast available on most streaming platforms.
That's right. And we will see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.